Hello and welcome to my tutorial series on how to make a zombies map. In this video, I'll be showing you how to buy debris. So let's get started. First things first, we're going to create the debris. Now there's two ways to do this. You can either make a brush model or actually use a model. Keep in mind when using models, not all of them have clipping. So you'll have to make a brush model as well, which I'll show you in this tutorial. So in order to add a model, we're going to go to right click, script, make sure it's script so we can script it, and go to model. Now you can go into your Call of Duty root folder, raw, look for X model, and then in here will be a bunch of different models that you can use. I'm going to be using the bookshelf because I know it doesn't have clipping, so if you don't apply clipping you'll be able to walk right through it, which is something you don't want. So we'll use this to show you how to do both if you do need to add clipping on your object. Not all models have clipping, but a lot of them do. So here's our bookshelf. What we're going to do is we're going to position it where we want it. It's facing this way, so we'll make it so it blocks out this way. And then we'll just change our grid to kind of line it up in our doorway, and then bring it out about here is fine. It doesn't have to be perfect. However you want it to be is okay with you. And then we'll change the... There we go. So here we have a bookshelf that's kind of blocking the way, and I did put it backwards, so of course I did. Here we go. There we go. And we'll just line it up then. So here's our bookshelf, and then we will just position it in the doorway. That way it's kind of blocking the doorway. And there's our bookshelf. So what we're going to do is we're going to apply some what do they call it? Keys and values. Sorry, it's been a while since I did a tutorial. So highlight it, Control S, hit N on the keyboard, and we're going to start giving it some keys and values. So the first one is going to be target name. This is going to be a target name for your whatever your debris is. For me, I'm just going to call it debris 1 because it's the first one. We're then going to add a script, fire FX. Now this is going to fire or play a sound effect. For this, we're going to use poltergeist. You don't have to use this, and I'm not sure all the ones that you can use, but poltergeist is pretty much the one that they always use, so you can use that if you want to. The next one is script FXID. You do not need this, but it's going to be large ceiling dust. Let's spell ceiling correctly. Ceiling dust. This kind of displays some dust when it finally breaks, which I'll show you. But I'm just going to throw mine straight up in the air, so they'll never even see this. So you don't need to have that on there. And then the last script is the noteworthy. And you don't need this as well. This is optional, but we're going to make it jiggle. So it's going to jiggle a bit before it flies into the sky. And then we're going to make the other one that is mandatory, which is link to, script underscore link to, and this has to be a number. So since it's our first debris, we're just going to give it the number 1. And then lastly, we need some spawn flags. So spawn flags, make that 1 as well. And that's all you need for this. Now, if you don't have, if your object already has clipping, you're done with this. You don't need to make another one. Since our object does not have clipping, also make sure dynamic path is ticked, always when making doorways and stuff. Since we do not have clipping, we're going to do this again, but what we're going to do is we're going to go to script, brush model. Now this is good even if you want to make like a doorway of some sort. You can just use the script and just use it whatever texture. For me, I'm going to go up to textures, usage tools, and I'm going to be looking for the one that says clip. The reason why is this way I can't go through it and neither can the zombies. And then just hit N and make sure dynamic path is ticked. And as you can see, we kind of just, design the clipping around the object. It doesn't have to be perfect. If you want it to be, then go ahead. And then we'll just give this the mandatory ones as well. So we're going to give it the target name. It's going to be the exact same as our actual debris because we want this to do the same thing the other one's going to do. If it's a different name, it's obviously not going to work. And then lastly, we just need the script link to. Again, this is the link to. It has to be a number. Make sure it's the same number as the object that it's going with. Again, you want these to be identical because they're going to move together. And then lastly, the spawn flags as well, which is 1. So now we pretty much have an object, which is the bookshelf, and the bookshelf has the main stuff that you want. The clipping is invisible, so you don't need to add like the jiggle and all of that stuff. And then we do have the clipping, that way we can't walk through this object because it doesn't have it. I'm not sure which objects do and do not have clipping, so pretty much just throw it in your map. see if you can walk through it. If you can, then you need to do this. If not, then you're good to go. And now we are done with this part. So what we want to do is we're going to right click, go to Script, Struct. This is going to give you a little pink box, and we're going to throw this pink box up in the air however far we want it to go. It doesn't really matter. You can make this up in the air, you can make this left, you can make this right, you can make it go, but wherever you put this is where the objects are going to go. So for me, I just throw it up in the air kind of bit. The further up, the faster it goes. Hit N on the keyboard, and we're going to give this some just one. It's just script underscore link name. And this has to be whatever we gave our link, script link to. So for me, it's 1. If you have another one, it would be 2. And if you did it correctly, then you should have a little red line. Now, if you have both, where you have to do the clipping, then you will have 2 little red lines. And that way you know that they're both connected to that script struct up there. And then lastly, we just have to give it a trigger. That way we can activate it. So right click, go to trigger, use, and this is going to just be dragged out kind of in the middle. We'll change the thing. Obviously make sure you're putting it on the right side of the object. Obviously if we're behind the object, we can't trigger it. And then we'll just bring it down like this. The good thing about the triggers is they do have they kind of stretch, so they don't have to be perfectly, you don't need it super big. I just make it kind of big enough to see it and make sure that it is kind of off the object a bit. We're going to hit N on the keyboard, and then this is what's kind of going to trigger everything. So we'll give it a target. The target must be whatever our target is. For us, it's debris 1. Again, this is actually going to, if you zoom in here, you're going to see 2 errors because it's triggering the bookshelf as well as the clipping around it. Again, that's why we both gave them the same target name. Next, we're going to give this a target name, and this is going to be zombie underscore debris for me, whatever you want to call it. That's up to you. And then lastly, we're going to have zombie underscore cost, and it's going to be, for me, 500. The target name must be zombie debris. I apologize. It must be that for all of them. So don't give them different numbers or anything like that. And then you should be good to go. Just make sure that it's targeting a different object. And then for the zombie cost, it can be 100, 200, 250, 500, 750, 1000, 1250, 1500, 1750, and 2000. Unless you want to make them custom, but that's a completely different tutorial. So we're good. We pretty much just save, compile the level, and I'll see you in the game. Alright, so here we are inside of our game, and as you can see on the top left, we do have the stones and all that stuff. Not a big deal unless you're having issues. But here's our first door, so as you can see, we can't walk through it because I did give myself debris. And as you can see, it's going to ask you to clear the debris. So you hit F. That's going to shoot it up into the sky, and there's that large ceiling dust that I mentioned. You can have that, you don't need it. I'm not really sure about the lighting fixtures, so I apologize for that. But also, here we go. The zombies can walk right through it. Keep in mind, if your zombies are not recognizing when you're in here or wherever you put, it's because you did not tick the dynamic path. I did that the first time I made my tutorial. They never would come in. So just make sure that you tick the dynamic path. That way the zombies can, in fact, not lose you, as well walk through it. So hopefully this tutorial was helpful. I'll see you guys in the next one where we'll finally do the zones. That way we can have many, many different rooms and all that stuff. And then we're pretty much got all the basics down for a full zombie map. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Check out the tutorial series if you haven't already. The playlist is in the description, and also you can check out the website in the description as well if you need help with any of the stuff that I put in, because I write them all up for you, the keys and values at least. I will see you guys in the next tutorial.